Like most people, when I've wanted to learn something in particular, learn DaVinci Resolve or understand features of my camera or one or two things about Scrivener, I have actually gone to YouTube and taken a look. You know what it's like. You'll flick through and you'll find somebody and you'll do a little bit here. Then you'll look for someone else. You'll do another bit there. And it's always little bits and pieces here and there when there's something specific that you want to learn and understand. The thing about that is, it's okay when it's very, very specific. You know, how do you get rid of those markers in DaVinci Resolve? Because anyone who's ever used that, if you've never known and you put those markers in, there's these particular points and you just don't know how to get rid of them. That's one of those things I've often had to look up and I think, oh God, I've forgotten. Now I've got to look it up again. When it comes to learning something specific, like how to be a writer, how to be a fiction writer, how to be a painter, someone who does museum quality paintings. You're not going to get that from little bits of YouTube videos here and there or random courses and it's like 20 quid. It's never going to happen. Because ultimately, when it comes to development and investing in our skills and our knowledge, quite frankly, we do have to pay for it. We all want to be paid for our skills and our knowledge. But one of the things I believe wholeheartedly as a creative is we must invest in our creativity. I feel it's one of the most important things that I can do for myself as a writer, as an artist, as a photographer. Pay to invest in my skills and my knowledge so that I can be the best I can be and can develop further. I met up with a friend and we were talking about what we were up to because we hadn't seen each other since we'd finished university. We were talking about where we've been, what we've been doing, what we're doing now. And I was sharing how I'm currently learning how to oil paint, learning to do museum quality paintings. Oh, so how much was that? How much is that course? They asked me. And I was like, yeah, it's this. And I told them how much the course was. How much? They were like, oh my God, that's really, really expensive. The thing is, something could cost £100, someone else thinks that's cheap, someone thinks it's expensive. The way to look at things when it comes to your education as a creative, developing your craft, is it's not about how much the item costs. Yes, it matters according to your income. The thing is, it's remembering what you will gain and how much you will develop from there onwards, and the level of income that you can increase once your knowledge and skill level increases. Not everything that is cheap. I mean, God, cheap. The funny thing about that word is cheap is always expensive for someone. No matter how much something costs, it's expensive for someone and cheap for someone else. When we decide we're going to learn, so I'm learning painting with Evolve, for example. When I look at the course, I see it as not only investing in my craft, but I'm investing in myself. It's about investing in my knowledge and my skills and developing it and becoming better than I am currently. The thing to remember is when you sign up for someone's course, you're gaining all those years of knowledge and experience. They've already done the legwork. They've already made the mistakes. They've done the stuff that you don't have to do. They have found the ruts and the highs and the lows and gone the long way round. And those are pathways that we don't need to take. When we take someone's course, we don't need to go through all of that. They're already giving us a shortcut by taking us through a path that they know will work, and that is solid and that is firm and that will bring you the results that you're looking for. When I signed up for Evolve Artists, I think I showed in a video my painting when I'd left for university. Do you know what? I can't bear to get that thing out again. It's actually quite terrifying. When I thought about the kind of work I want to create as a pencil artist, I could think about this is what I want to do, and I got all these ideas in my head. And the problem is I can't paint. But my idea was, okay, this is how much this course costs. How important is it to me to learn and invest in myself? Price does matter, but it's not just the price, it's the quality of the education that makes a huge difference, and that is what matters the most. Because if you're being taught by someone who all they've done perhaps is just read up a lot of knowledge from someone else, and perhaps they've done a few bits here and there, but they haven't really got the depth and breadth of knowledge, experience and groundwork. You're only really getting a surface level education. Just imagine, for example, if Dan Brown, you want to write a novel and Dan Brown says, you can sit with me for a month and I will teach you what I know from my years of writing. Are you going to say, if he says yes and I'm going to, that's a £5,000, £10,000, £500, how much is that knowledge worth to you? When we think about something we want to learn and we want to learn it, would we say, how much? Or would we think, I'm going to do what it takes to find that money because this is Dan Brown? When you think about their knowledge and skills and they've been at it for years and they say, all I ask from you is one solid month. You need to be here at 5 a.m. till 4. Are you going to go, oh, can we not start at 8? You're going to say, I'll be there if it matters enough. There are things that I have looked at in the past and thought I really want to do that. And some of those courses have been cheaper than the one I'm doing now. But it didn't have what I wanted. It didn't have the groundwork and the foundation that I was looking for. There wasn't the depth and breadth. It didn't have that full pathway. When we do look on YouTube for training and courses and various things, there are very, very few, if any, that are teaching you everything from start to finish. There is nothing like that on YouTube that's really going to give you those fundamentals as an artist or a writer. You do need to pay at some point to learn and hone the craft. Determine what it is you want. Look at where you are now, whatever the endeavour is. It might be writing, it might be you want to learn painting. You might say, okay, where am I now? What skills do I not have and where do I want to be? Because ultimately there's a destination in your mind that you may have. You think, because I know I do, I have a destination in mind. I know what I want. I have a note on the side of my shelf here of my Acme painting, I would call it, my pinnacle painting, and I've got that here. But there was only one way I was going to get that. So it meant I would have to find the best that I could find to help me achieve that. So first of all, what is it you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? What is it in your mind that you can see where you say, that is my Acme, my pinnacle, that's my top. This is my cream and the cherry, happy days. That's where I want to be. What am I lacking in my creative skills? I know I was seriously lacking in knowing how to paint, how to mix oil paints, for example, understanding that medium so that I could use it effectively and work with it rather than against it, trying to get it to do something that in fact it actually wasn't designed to do because I didn't have the knowledge base. Yes, I'd been to university, yes, I did fine art, but I had no idea when I left, not a flipping clue. How will the training and education move me forward? So if this is where I am now and I'm looking at what they're providing, how is that going to move me forward? Is that the direction that I want to go in? Or actually, is this other course, is this person over here suited more to what I want to do? I'm not interested in landscape painting. I don't want to know. I'm not interested. There are some phenomenal landscape painters out there. I mean, phenomenal. But I'm not interested in that. I enjoy drawing the figure. That's what I want to do. There's no point in me learning landscape when in fact that's not what I'm interested in. The people who are running the course or the individual who's running the course, what is their skill? What is their skill level? What's their history? Where have they been? I remember picking up a book from the writers and artists. There was a lady, I cannot remember her name, who had written the book. And one of the things that she had written in there, which has stuck with me, is look at the level and skill of the person who is training you. When was the last time they created the work you wanted to create? What work have they created? What level and standard is that work at? There's no point going on a course or learning from someone whose level and skills are like 20 years out of date. Universities aren't always the answer. It doesn't mean because it's a university you are going to get what you are looking for. Like I said, I left and I had no idea still how to paint. It really is a matter of truly looking at what you want. Don't look at the price. Yes, look at the price, but don't look at the price. Look at what you're getting, because when you invest in your creative education, you will make money from that. If you follow a path and learn to understand business and do the things you need to do, because I know often as creatives, we're like, I just want to be in my studio and just want to create. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to communicate with anybody. I just want to create. I just want to be in my studio. And I absolutely understand that. But there's a point where we learn these things and we've got to understand the business side and move forward. So you've developed your craft and we develop our skills and our knowledge. And now we've got to learn something else, which is the business side, and bringing that forward. Because then we're learning all this stuff. What is it we're going to do with it? If we're doing it just because we want to paint for ourselves or family, or write books and stories just for family and friends, then that's fine. But if you want to do more and go further, there are other skills that will be taught on top of that. So it's always worth remembering about the investment side and how much you will gain and earn from the knowledge you have gained from your educators. So university, somebody else, always look around and find the right places. But, and I say this, it's because I understand the money does matter, but it's more than the money. Education is more than the money. I paid a lot of money for university. The course I'm paying for now with Evolve is less than a quarter of cost I paid to be at uni. I'm Shai, this is the Shai Creative. Are you taking any courses at the moment? Have you taken some that you liked, some that you thought would be worth it but turned out to be pants? Let me know in the show notes and I will see you in the next video.